All right, so we're going to break down the 6 biggest proposed rules for the PGA Tour that are going to be taking effect. And this would be, by the way, for 2026, but just came out this week, a lot of news. And first of all, Kyle, the proposing authority, Player Advisory Council, proposed changes come from a comprehensive examination led by the PAC following extensive feedback from the PGA Tour members about various aspects of the competition. This isn't the PGA Tour Policy Board, but it's the Player Advisory Council. So, obviously, a lot of rules coming into the PGA Tour. We're going to run through the 6 proposed changes of it. Is there something in particular you've wanted to see over the years?
Honestly, well, first of all, I actually haven't looked at everything. I know the news came out this week. I just, haven't had a chance to really look at it. So this will be a, unvarnished live reaction to everything that's changing. Honestly, I just want, the pace of play to improve a little bit.
Yep.
I want to see more golf shots. Again, that's just a viewer's, perspective. I don't need, and I love the caddy discussion and all of that. But as far as like pace of play, I don't need, you're standing there, you're looking, you're watching,
it's
you're
ridiculous.
waggling, you're, whatever you got going on.
It's gotten out of control.
Taking forever to hit a shot. And I get it. It's their profession. There's a lot of money on the line. There's a lot of status on the line. But pace of play would be the biggest thing to enforce.
And they have, that is in there. They obviously have a kind of slammed poor pace of play, want it better, whatever. And yeah, I think that's a big part of it. I'd love to see something different with the FedEx Cup. I think the FedEx Cup has to change. I don't think it's
the finish to it, right?
In general, I don't understand why guys are starting with 10-stroke leads or 7-stroke leads. It just doesn't make sense to me. It's in no other sport is it like this. I think that if you want to, it's a good thing to reward good play throughout the year. And much like other sports, if you want to give someone a bye, if the number 1 seed gets a bye, something like that, they can just skip that and then go right to the second one, which would be the BMW Championship. There has to be a better way than starting guys with such a head start in these tournaments. But anyway, some of the proposed changes. So field size adjustments, starting field, maximum number of players in open tournaments to be reduced from 156 to 144, potential reductions to 120 or 132 based on daylight considerations. Interesting. I mean, in general, I guess I wouldn't be in favor of just reducing fields to reduce fields. But yeah, when you think of it, there are a ton of delays. I feel like every other tournament, you're into Saturday and they're still finishing round 2 because of some delay. So I don't know. Maybe there's too many guys, but I like when guys just sneak into the tournament at the end of the field and maybe have a good week.
Yeah, I don't like limiting opportunities for, successful people, especially at a time right now when you talk about the next generation of golf. I mean, there's so many college players and, guys on the come up that people are really excited about this next generation. I really don't love limiting those opportunities for people. But at the same token, of course, I understand it. I mean, look at all the other professional sports out there. You're elite and you get to that level you're in. If you're almost there, or you're trying to break through, maybe you're just not that good enough a player and you got to be on the Corn Ferry. You got to be elsewhere trying to earn your status. You want the best players in the world playing on tour. So I understand what they're getting at.
So in the FedEx Cup changes as well, exempt status, change the exempt status from the top 125 to the top 100 in the FedEx Cup standings, introduce a conditional status for players finishing 101 to 125. So again, all this kind of trying limiting the PGA Tour cards, if anything. And same thing with Corn Ferry Tour cards. Decrease the number of PGA Tour cards from the Corn Ferry Tour from 30 to 20 while maintaining 10 cards from the DP World Tour and capping the Q School at 5. Again, it is so tough to get on tour in general.
Harder than ever.
It is. And the PGA Tour University has done a good job with giving those college kids chances, but to actually get your tour card, when you look into just the statuses and how you're able to qualify and get a conditional card or to get a Corn Ferry card or playing on the PGA Tour Americas and finishing top 5 in the season long, and then you get your Corn Ferry card. Then if your Corn Ferry card, if you finish top 25, you get your PGA Tour card for one. I mean, it's such a long list of stuff. It really is crazy. And it seems like they're trying to limit it a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, again, this is something that they've talked about for a few years where you have the top players in the world going, we need to limit fields, we need to increase purses, we need to do no-cut events, we need to do some other things, I guess. And that's all well and good. I'm certainly you want your elite players and the big names to go up against each other every single weekend. That's ratings. That's what people want. It's just this only seems to favor the best players,
right?
Who, let's be honest, they're set. They're living a great lifestyle. They got a ton of money. They got endorsements. They got, money coming from everywhere. Is it the best to just continue to line those guys' pockets, or to give opportunities to other people who are trying to reach that status?
Right. And with that as well, they're want to modify some allocation of sponsors exemptions to prioritize the next eligible member of the priority ranking system. Again, if you actually look at it, and I have, look at the priority ranking for a PGA Tour event. There's like 28 points. It's unbelievable, the detail of it. When you go down from, whether it's FedEx Cup standing from the prior season, whether it's you've won your past champion, so now you're down there at 27, and now that's how a lot of these guys that maybe won once on tour can still play in a cross field event or whatever. But there's so many different things that factor into it.
Man, I did not realize how big of a nerd you were when it came to the PGA Tour.
There's a ton.
I mean, I'm sitting here listening, going, well, I don't even know what that is.
Special temporary membership is down there. If you get so many points that season, and you're not a FedEx Cup and PGA Tour card player, you can get special temporary membership, and that's down there. It really is crazy. See, so technically, the past champion, if you're a past champion, you get that slot on the priority ranking forever.
As you should, past
forever.
Champion, yeah.
So there's guys like that really don't have status anymore, like Wesley Bryan or someone like that, who technically in events that have an issue fill in the field, how every PGA Tour event works is they start from 1 to 28. I literally think it's 28 in the priority rankings to fill these fields, and way down on there is like past champions. So if the field isn't filled by slot 24 or 26 or whatever it is, those guys can get in the field.
Right.
So technically, you could have Champions Tour guys, or hey, someone like Jack Nicklaus could technically and legally still go play in these tournaments if he wanted to, much like the Masters. But it is fascinating how it works. Not to go in the rabbit hole about that, but I've broken it down extensively several
clearly.
times.
No, I mean,
I was wrong too. There's 39 spots, with spot number 39 being veteran members. So you got guys that are probably the most limited status on tour right now: Brett Quigley, Charlie Wee, Brian Davis, David Duval, Angel Cabrera, where they're basically going to only get into the tournament if it's something like that. Special temporary members 37, past champion 36. Again, anyone who's won on tour can still get in there.
That, yeah.
But then spot number 32 is the reorder category, where they'll reorder spots 34 to 39 occasionally, or once every other year, or whatever it is. So that means maybe non-exempt major medical extension at 33 could be 37, and past champion members at 36 could be 32. It always gets it's fascinating how it works. It really is.
I love how much you're geeking out on this. I just have to ask, like, does the average golf fan give a crap about any of this?
Well, even so, look at spot 28. Someone who's made 300 career cuts. No players even exempt in that category right now.
Who came up with that arbitrary number? 300 career cuts made. Like, where did that even come from?
But someone like, I guess, who has made 300. I mean, I guess Tiger probably has. He's probably already exempt in one of these other categories.
Right.
I mean, it's great. Top 20. I mean, life members, open qualifier, PGA section champion player. It's crazy how it works. But anyway, not to get off. Like, we've totally got off track on it. The only other main change is FedEx points distribution, slight increase in points for second place in major and the players, whatever. But long story short, a lot of these changes seem to just be aimed at really lessening the field and perhaps, playing less golf, I guess, overall, which is kind of the change we've seen just in the landscape the past few years with LIV. Smaller fields, more money, less golf. It's kind of what the backbone of these changes seem to be, in my opinion.
And who takes the brunt of that and gets the raw end of the deal on that? Us, the golf fans. I mean, I want to see more golf. I want to see more of the top 25 players in the world competing against each other. I don't want to see less. I don't want to be, and again, live your life. It's great they're making money. They're living a great lifestyle. But, I don't need to see more Instagram stories of Dustin Johnson hanging out, at home or on his yacht. I want to see him out there playing and competing and playing in bigger tournaments. Like, that is frustrating, I think, for the average golf fan.
Well, and if you're an average golf fan out there, comment below what you think of these recent changes, if there's anything that stands out that you like or you dislike.